Foote was, I have to imagine, a very different place.
Very
when you were
different.
both
We
here.
lived in it. We were in a stable,
Yeah.
a remodeled stable, and I'll tell you what we did in
Please.
the stable. But she was not part of it. She really is a younger woman, and we were in the same class, but we talked to each other too much or passed notes or something. And so they decided to skip one of us, and they skipped me for some
The
reason.
smarter one.
Not the smarter one, but the one who was slightly better in mathematics.
Definitely better than mathematics.
Slightly better. And my husband, who was 3 classes ahead of me, Joe Hotchkiss, he was skipped because he was too tall for his class. So they skipped him into the next class, and that's why he was in a different class than he started off in.
Jana, we ought to do the Christmas miracle play for them, for the archives.
Yes, sure.
In those,
Yes, he was doing
in those days, every year they did the same miracle play. And when you were little, you started out sitting down this tiny little stage, no bigger than that table. And you were maybe a villager. And the next year you were maybe an angel, and you moved up a little bit. So by the time you got to 8th grade, you were on the stage. And by that time you knew all the lines. And we can tell you, Lord, what? This
Lord, but these weathers
weather's
be cold.
and I am ill
Yeah,
happed.
my fingers are chapped, my legs they fold, and I'm ill happed. So long.
Something sorrow. I mean, it sticks with you 80 years because you the same play every year.
Wow.
It
So
was
if anyone
wonderful.
missed a line, who was a lead in the play, all his voices did the line for him.
And every day you would march in, somebody at the piano, Mrs. Coles at the piano, and she would play Men of Harlech in the Hollow, usually. And the whole school, like 50 of us, would march in. And Mrs. Sturley would have a few words, and we'd march out.
Because in this stable, there was this little door. Did I tell you this before I tell something? A little door, and the space was a little bit higher than this. I mean, it was maybe this high. Anyway, we all got into we opened up this cupboard, the regular cupboard that you open with, and we got into this cupboard during French class, before the French teacher came down. All the girls got in, the boys were goody-goodies, and they didn't
Sat in
get
their
in.
seats.
And we got in there, and then we got sort of scared that we wouldn't be able to get out. So we began banging on the door. By that time, Mr. Borglum, who was our French teacher, had reported to Mrs. Sturley that, strangely enough, there were no girls in the French class for Mr. Borglum. So she said, meanwhile, we were banging to get out of this place. And Mrs. Sturley flung open the door, and somebody in it, I don't know who it was, and it was not I, threw something like a scarf or something soft. I mean, it wasn't any attack, really, on Mrs. Sturley's head. Well, all of us trailed out of the cupboard and were sent immediately to her office, where we were, I think we had to have extra study or something like that for several weeks, as I remember.
Poetry was very big. We learned, do you remember that? We had to
Yes.
memorize a
A lot of
poetry.
yes.
Like the Highwayman,
Yes.
You
Yeah.
remember that. The Lady of Shalott, we could all recite that endlessly.
Okay.
And I don't
And
remember
art
much
was very
art.
big.
No, I don't remember the art.
Yes,
No.
Mary Anna Bourdain.
Yeah, and history. We had a wonderful history. We had wonderful teachers.
Yeah.
We really did. Those
We
boys.
came about the same year
Yeah, we
as
did.
new girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we lived 2 doors away from each other, so we either walked or biked from Prospect Street to,
Down St. Ronan's
Down
Street
St.
into the stable.
we did not have orange juice in the morning, we had mead.
What did we do for lunch? We must have had lunch there. It must have been a cafeteria.
Well, we didn't have a cafeteria,
No,
and
no.
I think we walked home for lunch.
You think we walked home for lunch?
And
The
came
end of
out for
school?
sport, for baseball.
I don't remember.
I don't remember
But
either.
we certainly had no dining room.
And I don't remember.
No, we didn't go home for lunch. They must have given us a sandwich or something, a glass of milk, at our desks or something. I think it was the teaching, that sticks with me.
Yeah, and oh, definitely.
Yeah, you said one word, it was the teachers.